a 5K monitor and two 4K monitors. That's 13K of awesomeness. If you've ever edited on a big screen desktop and then had to move and edit on a laptop, you have this feel of limitation, and it's actually quite annoying to edit. Now, to give you an idea, this setup actually makes me feel like that when I move to a single 27-inch monitor. So I think that just kind of explains how epic it is and how awesome it is to use. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. It really helps us a ton, and we want to bring you more of these videos and cinematic goodness and just YouTube content, stuff that we do, that we want to show you. Now, I'm not going to give you a full office tour, but if you do want to see that, I'll drop a link over here where I've done something similar to that, as well as put a link in the description below. So if you want to watch that when you finish the video, you can. So I'm going to explain to you a dual monitor setup as well as a 3 monitor setup, and why I feel this is the best suited for any video editor. Perhaps not a photographer, but if you are a photographer, this would be insane. But yeah, more for video editors and any form of content creation really around video and photo. First off, I do want to express that the reason I feel that I have some form of background to give you some advice or my experience is purely because I've tried so many different setups. I've tried a laptop with a single monitor. I've tried a single monitor with a laptop in clamshell. I have tried a dual monitor dead straight. I have tried pretty much every sort of variation that you can get up until a triple monitor, except for stacking displays up, which I believe isn't one of the nicest things due to this motion and you're away from your comfortable seating eye level position. So to start off, I'm going to explain to you the dual monitor setup that we still have over here and why we use it. Now, firstly, this dual monitor setup isn't really ideal for a lot of people. The reason being is that if you're sitting dead center with your monitors, you're actually looking at the bezels on the inside. What that will do is it'll force you to either tilt to the left or to the right. You can, however, put your first monitor directly in front of you and your second monitor off that. If you do that, it uses a lot of desk space and it also doesn't look too clean and symmetrical. Now, this specific setup we actually use for photos. So we would have Lightroom on the one side and you would just kind of sit in your chair looking to the left, and on the right you could have YouTube videos or your mail or any type of app that you generally work on that's quick and easy to access. This specific setup is awesome if you have a MacBook that's docked and you want to just dock it on the side and leave it there on power and kind of, just plug and play, and just, when you are leaving the office, you just pick up your MacBook and you leave and you come back and everything's set up with the keyboard in place. If you are a video editor, however, I would actually still flip one of those displays, and now we're going to get straight into a triple display. So this specific setup is a 5K 27-inch iMac dead center with two Dell U27 18Q monitors on the side. They're both 4K monitors, so in a very small area you have 13K of resolution. Now, this is one of the reasons that a lot of people dislike ultra-wide curved display monitors, because in actual fact they're not very high resolution. So the first time I got this triple display setup, what I actually did was I did the usual YouTuber gaming setup where you would have your 3 monitors in landscape mode. And unfortunately, for any form of video editor or creator that uses those displays, it's completely impractical. Your head literally moves from left to right past this specific point, and it's not very comfortable. A lot of people then say, well, what you should be doing is sitting further away from your displays. However, when you do sit further away from your displays, they get so much smaller and the text that is on there. So ideally, you would want the largest surface area right in front of you where you can just kind of browse in a very circular motion. Now, a lot of displays nowadays have this portrait mode where you can actually just twist it. Those U25s from Dell also do that because those are 25-inch monitors, and these 27s also do it. It's become a standard feature of late where you could just twist your monitor, change a setting on the side, and your computer software would just kind of know to obviously put it in that position. Now, I do agree that perhaps the new 2020, hopefully we see it, iMac that's coming out with which is almost bezel-less, would look a lot better than a normal 27-inch iMac that we know due to the large bezels. However, when you work for it sometime, you actually don't notice those bezels because your main screen is directly in front of you. So when you glance to the left or the right, you don't see those bezels as you do when you sit in dead center in front of a dual display, as that bezel is right in the center. How I set mine up usually to work is I will have my Final Cut Pro open with a timeline, as well as some of my colorscapes and the normal settings that you would frequently use. On the right hand side, I do however have a secondary monitor using Final Cut. I have my clips that I'm using within the project, or titles and sounds, effects, whatever it may be. And you can just drag those over from that monitor into your timeline. Now on the left hand side, I use my other vertical display to generally have either Epidemic Sound or Soundstripe open. Sometimes I would actually split it with Epidemic Sound and Soundstripe. And this kind of helps me when I'm working with a project that generally has, you know, 1 or 2 songs in it. So keeping Epidemic Sound or Soundstripe open in my left-hand side portrait monitor, I would just toggle between different songs, playlists, even while I'm color grading clips and I don't need to hear the audio of my current project. It's just so nice to just go up on the left-hand side while it's open and seamlessly go back and carry on creating the project that you have. As you know, with Apple, you could take a 2-finger swipe on an Apple mouse or a trackpad and it would shift through multiple desktop displays. So what would generally happen is on my left hand side display where I have my Epidemic Sound, I would even have my mail and my notes, or my mail and a YouTube video open that's actually playing. So if I'm not listening to music, I can actually just swipe through and watch a YouTube video or attend to a mail that may be urgent while I'm busy in a current project. This is specifically why I use a triple display monitor with 2 portrait modes on the side. It just makes sense. In the beginning, I thought it looked absolutely ridiculous and I thought there's no way I would use this, and I wanted that triple display that I always saw on YouTube in these dream setups. And unfortunately, it just wasn't practical using it for content creation or any form of day-to-day work. Yes, I completely agree that for gaming, the immersive look, whether you're in a racing game or you have that first-person view shooter game and you see so much more of the world around you, I can completely understand it. However, for something like this, it's definitely not worth setting up a triple display in full landscape. So I hope that helps you out, and if you are considering a triple display for use at home or your office and you do video editing, it is truly worth it. I can say that if you are using a dual display, I would still definitely flip the one into portrait mode. Just try it out, you've got nothing to lose. And yeah, let me know in the comments below if you have worked on a display in portrait mode. It changes absolutely everything. Just scrolling even through a website is totally different. So thanks for watching. Please consider subscribing. Drop this video a like if you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you on the next one. So wherever you are in the world, have a good day, good evening, good night. Goodbye.